Everybody is looking for a brand new construction home here in Bellingham, and let me tell you, they are hard to find. So if that's you and you're looking for something that isn't gonna break the budget, well, stay tuned in this video because we're here at the Northview Homes here in Bellingham. Hey everyone, it's Aldo here, local realtor with Levain Real Estate Team with Windermere in Bellingham and Whatcom County. So we are here in Bellingham in the Cordata neighborhood, and I want to tell you what is so great about these houses that even myself and my wife actually bought our very first home here in this development. Now, there's actually quite a bit of different sort of developments within this north part of Cordata. Back in 2016, brand new development started, and it was called Spring Vista. And so these houses here are actually built by AJW. What had happened years ago is that D.R. Horton actually owned these homes, and 2008 happened. They just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And then all of a sudden, some investors actually out of Japan actually purchased this whole entire area, and now they're building and they're developing here. And now they started back in 2012, but this specific development here is brand new as of 2016. So it all started with Spring Vista was the very first development. Pretty small, but really, really nice. That hit really good. And then the second development was actually Springside, and that's the development that my wife and I actually bought our very first house in, which we absolutely love. So a lot of these houses are going to be a little bit different from each other. And this one here in this development that I'm walking through currently is the Northview Homes 2. There's Northview Homes 1 that was earlier on in last year in 2024 that was being developed. But yes, we absolutely love this area. So Cordata is probably the newest part of Bellingham, and Costco is literally 5 minutes away, which is great. You're gonna have Fred Meyer's. You're also gonna have a brand new Trader Joe's that just opened up in early June, which is really nice. You're gonna have Best Buy. You're also gonna have CR Trading Post, Home Goods. So there's a lot of different shopping in that area, which is really nice. Okay, so for the average price here in this area, you're really gonna find anywhere between about $575 all the way up to probably $725, maybe $750,000. Because there are some lots in here that are really nice that actually look out more north and onto the North Bellingham golf course that has views of obviously the golf course and the Canadian mountains and some more beautiful areas rather than just staring out at your neighbors. What this does have is probably the first green community that Bellingham offered, and every single house here has solar panels, which is great. So that being said, you know, we have Cordata Park, which is down the street. They've just upgraded Cordata Park, which is great because now it has pickleball courts, basketball courts, has more outside entertaining. Of course, it has the beautiful park, covered area, a little kids park as well. Walking trails, there's a couple of miles actually embedded in there, which is really nice. But you also have standalone homes here in Cordata or in this part of the area, where some of the other developments are really more of the zero lot lines, like I'll explain later. Is you're gonna have a house, but you share a common wall, and out here you can have a standalone house, which is really nice. But there are still some unique varieties, which is really great because, for example, the third development in Springbrook, there was a lot of single level 1,000 square foot homes, and a lot of people really like that. And the demographic here in Cordata is pretty mixed, which we really like. Now, like I said, we bought our house in the second development and there's a lot of retirees. Like I said, in different developments, there's single level houses. So there's a lot of people that are downsizing or that just want something small. And there's a lot of retirees that will buy in here. And there's also growing families that will also buy in here, which is really nice. And anybody in between, people that don't have kids, people who have kids, dogs, because the walkability here is amazing. There's sidewalks down Cordata now. They made it into one lane, which at first I was pretty pissed about because I was like, this is dumb, because I thought a lot of people drove really slowly in Cordata, but then I had kids, and then we had a bike, and then we had strollers, and we're like, whoa, this is really cool. So they made it into a one lane and put a bike lane in there, which is really nice. Redid the sidewalks, and it's super friendly. You feel really safe when you're walking or riding your bike because there's definitely a median in between. So I think that's a bonus. Obviously, if you're more into 2 lanes and whatnot, you may not like it. Yes, at times when I'm driving to Cordata, it still bugs me because there's definitely a lot of people who are slow slow drivers, not to call any of the old people out or whatever, but yes, there's still a lot of slow drivers, but it's great. The streets are amazing, walkability 10 out of 10. What was the reason you guys bought in this area?
Well, I've always liked Cordata area. It's got a good reputation. It's clean, and we were downsizing. I lived in Ferndale, and we needed to downsize because we couldn't do the yard anymore and stuff. So we looked at this and went, I kind of like this.
Yeah. They're nice. I know they're all kind of different too, which is quite nice. So when we first moved in over there, we were the second subdivision, right? The sidewalk only went up so far.
Oh, yeah.
And then after the years, it's just so fun seeing so many people like finally coming out.
Yes.
You know, our Halloweens were very, very quiet though for the
I
first
know.
3 years, which was a bummer. But I'm sure now it's a lot busier.
Better now, but even last year, we've been here 2 years. The first year I had to call people that were walking by and go, hey, don't you want a candy?
Yeah,
you know?
You're right.
And this year it was better, but it wasn't still like I'm used to. In Ferndale, we'd have to get a couple of those big, huge bags, you know, of candy.
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, that the home prices here are very affordable. I think a lot of first-time home buyers like being out here, or really anybody who is coming from out of town that wants new construction, that doesn't want to just live in a condo or a townhome. This is definitely the place for you. And people who are remote working. It's really nice and it's really peaceful. As you see around, you're gonna see a lot of green space, which is really nice, but the lots are gonna be somewhat small. In Bellingham, you're gonna find larger lots probably outside into Ferndale or Linden, but in Bellingham, we don't get a lot of space. And so the lots are probably gonna be anywhere from 3,500 square feet to 5,000 square feet. If you're moving from Texas or Arizona or somewhere big where you have a lot of land, it's gonna feel somewhat small, but because the building regulations are so strict here in Bellingham, you're gonna have to have a small lot. Now, the yards aren't bad, so if you're looking for minimal landscaping, definitely a plus for you. Or if you have maybe a dog or a growing family, perfect, not so bad. The HOA usually is gonna be around $60 or so a month. Each different little subdivision will have their own different HOA management. But for pretty much all of them, the HOA will take care and mow all your front yards, which is really nice, but they're all managed differently. So my association where we live in, that is, I would say, a little bit more strict. Depends who's on the board. Obviously, if you don't like HOAs, this might not be the neighborhood for you, but it's really nice because then also you're not gonna have some pink boat just parked out on the street, or you're gonna have some crazy loud neighbors or a bunch of cars parked everywhere. So there is a plus to it, and we enjoyed it. Obviously, depending who's managing each HOA, some might be a little bit more loose or some might be a little bit more strict. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, what I love about Cordata and a lot of these new construction homes is there's so much variety. So now let's start going into some of these houses. First, gonna start off in the model called the Grouse, and then we'll go into a couple of other ones. They're being built, as we talked about earlier, so we're not gonna be able to go into all of them. They're not all gonna be completed, but right behind me, we have two of the models, and yes, they are called a zero lot line. As you can see right here, they do share a common wall. There are a lot of other ones that are detached, but so far right now, these two are gonna be the ones that we're gonna be going and taking a look at. So let's go in. I think you're really gonna like them, and these backyards and these ones specifically are killer. This one here is about 1,600 square feet. It will come with a fireplace, which is really nice. So this will be your living area, and this kind of opens up into the kitchen, as you can see in here. You're gonna start seeing a lot of these AC units up above. It's called mini splits or ductless heating. That's gonna be really common in this area. But as we go through the kitchen here, everything's obviously brand new construction. This one has yet to be installed with the refrigerator. The range also is gas with stainless steel appliances. And then this will give you a nice little little dining area right here, which is nice. And as you can kind of see in the background there, you're gonna see that you're gonna have a really nice backyard. This is the other side of the layout. It's pretty spacious, as you can see as well. We're gonna have like those peak ceilings. And then down here, this is the first bedroom, which isn't the nicest, not the biggest, but it kind of acts like an office. Through here is we'll have your bathroom, which I do like because nobody really likes the fact that, hey, I'm gonna have my bathroom right next to my living room. And yes, this does come with a shower, which will be nice. And then this just goes out into your washer and dryer room. And then of course, through this door, you will have the garage. So let's go upstairs though, because I think you guys are gonna be liking the primary bedroom. So as you're up here, you will have another full shower, bath, everything that you're gonna need. And then this way here, you're gonna have your second guest bedroom. Pretty good size, I'd say maybe 10 feet by 8 or 9 feet. And then through this way will be the primary bedroom. And this primary bedroom is quite large, which is really nice. Through here, you're gonna have your main bathroom. You will have dual vanity sinks, which is kind of nice. And then tile shower in here, no bathtub, but you will have a tile shower, separate door to the toilet, which is really nice. And then you'll have a smaller walk-in closet, which is quite nice. Okay, so now that we're in the backyard, all the way back there's like a little tiny white tent back there. It's called North Bellingham Golf Course. So you're gonna have a great view of that. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you're gonna definitely have a master plan here. I'm not sure whether that's in the next 5 to 10 years or the next 20 to 25 years, depending when the city is going to annex all that into the city. But you're definitely gonna have a great backyard in this particular lot, which is quite nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the Cypress one. These two here, we just came from the Grouse, which is right there. This one here is just a little bit bigger, like 150 square feet bigger. This one's about $685,000 or so. And like I said, about 1,750 square feet. So not much bigger, but slightly different. So let's see what the differences are. All right, so this one, as you enter, you're gonna be greeted right by stairs right away to go up to the second story. This one does have that bedroom right around the corner. Here it is, just a small little room, little office sort of type. And then here you're gonna have some closet space. And then this to your left, you'll have your entrance from the garage and you're gonna have your washer and dryer. It does open up then here into your living area and into your kitchen and dining. And as you can see here in this specific lot, you still have a pretty good sized backyard. These lots are definitely a big favorite. And this island here, it's a little bit smaller than the house that we were just currently at, but you're gonna have the same finishes, right? You're gonna have very similarities. You're gonna have quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances. Now the fridge, not here yet, but all this here, it's gonna be brand new construction, so. Okay, so this one here, this is the second bedroom. You're gonna have your ductless heating up top, so you're gonna have heating and cooling specifically in this room. And then you will have these kind of cool windows, which I really like. Now, if you go down the hallway, you're gonna be having some closet space in here, and then you will also have your bathroom in here. And then down the hallway, you're gonna have this third bedroom. So the differences in these two models is that you essentially have 3 true bedrooms, and then you're gonna have that tiny little office area downstairs. Now here again on this primary, which I love, it's big, it's spacious. All right, so as we walk down past the model home we just toured, so right next to it, you'll be able to see that they're putting quite a bit more, which will be really nice. These ones are gonna be super nice. As you can tell, obviously there's gonna be nothing behind you. And then there's gonna be some more sort of like townhomes right across from us right here. So none of these are really quite done yet. But then if you come down the street, which is really cool, which they've done a couple of these down on the other developments, it's gonna be these like really nice little 2-bedroom, 1,000 square foot sort of single level places. And let me show you what these look like. So these again, 0 lot lines. So if you're from out of the area, this is what we call them here. Yes, some people call them duplexes because they look like duplexes, but they're not, but they're 0 lot line because they share a common wall. But these here, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, they're just gonna be a little bit, 1,000 square feet. So a lot of people who are retired, want to downsize, whatever it is, these are the type of places that they're gonna wanna buy. And as you can tell, there's gonna be quite a bit more over here and throughout this cul-de-sac, and there is one that we just can't get into. I'm gonna see if we can poke in anyways, just because everything is getting close to being finished and or not even nearly done. So let's go down this way and see if we can't pop in one. So we managed to get in here. So obviously, as you can tell, they're not close to being done, but it gives you an idea of what you can have. Now, especially like I said, if you're just single, whoever, you want something small and you want something that you just can pop in and out. Snowbirds, this is very, very popular for everybody. So this right here is just 1,000 square feet, and pretty much walking through the whole entire house here within a few seconds, you're gonna find a bedroom, 2 bedrooms on your right-hand side. And this right here will be your primary bedroom. Now and then this will pop, there's the door that will pop through that way as well. But coming from this side, this is what your kitchen would look like. So everything's pretty much right here. Very simple living. You have your garage over there, and then through here, this is nice because you're gonna have another bedroom, and then you're gonna see you can have vaulted ceilings, which is really cool. And this room will feel a lot bigger. So pretty simple, pretty nice. Another bathroom over here. But yes, if you're looking for something that is gonna be smaller and you want single level, I don't know the prices on this one yet, but I will make sure to have all the information down below. So from here, let's go back out. All right, guys, if you stayed this far, once again, if you are looking at moving into the area, my name is Aldo, local realtor with Levain Real Estate Team with Windermere here in Bellingham. So if you're looking in Bellingham or anywhere else, reach out to us. We'd love the opportunity to help you guys out. And for anybody that's watching this, leave some comments down below. Let me know what neighborhood I should do next. Let me know if you like the Cordata neighborhood or if you don't like the Cordata neighborhood. And anything that I haven't done yet, let me know. I want to keep a lot of this content fresh and really viewable for everybody. So again, guys, Aldo here with Levain Real Estate Team in Bellingham, and we'll see you next time.